Welcome to Prairie Pulse. I'm Matt O'Lean sitting in for John Harris. Coming up later on Prairie Pulse, we'll hear a musical performance from Amanda Standalone and the Pastry Shop Girls. But first, we're going to talk home sales and home construction in the Fargo-Moorhead area with Derek Guthmiller, who is with me. Derek is the president of the Home Builders Association of Fargo-Moorhead. Welcome to Prairie Pulse, Derek.
Well, thanks, Matt. Thanks for having me.
A lot of fun stuff to talk about. But first of all, just tell folks about yourself, your background, where you work, and how you got into home building.
Sure. I've been into the building business since 1997. I work for Kochman Brothers Homes. I got a degree in drafting and estimating and a degree in construction management. I've been involved with the Home Builders Association since 1999.
Mm-hmm. Tell us, let's talk about home construction right now. It seems like you can't hardly keep up with demand with the low interest rates. People want homes. Big difference from 2008, 2009 when things were not good in the housing market. Just tell us about the last year or so with home building in Fargo-Moorhead.
Sure. Last year we've seen increases in almost all sectors of new construction, including remodeling. West Fargo in particular, they doubled the permits that they had from the year before. And Moorhead was kind of steady, and West Fargo was up too.
Mm-hmm. And why is this happening right now, Derek?
I think the interest rates are good. There was probably a little bit of a pent-up demand. The years where the so-called recession was, we didn't really see that here, but I think it kept some people from buying homes or building homes. Mm-hmm. So that demand is there, and now those people are building.
What's a typical week for you guys like at Kochman Brothers? I mean, are you guys working in the winter? I mean, I know stuff's going up right now. So
we've been working all winter. We have houses that we put in the foundations in the fall, and we're just starting to actually frame one right now. So we've been that busy that we've had to wait to get a framing crew till March.
We're going to hear from Kevin Fisher a little bit later in the show, who's the Realtors Association president. And he was telling me that right now one of the problems is a lot of people want homes, but there's not enough product to show out there. And we recently bought a home, my wife and I, and we found that too. We found the one we wanted, but we didn't have a lot to choose from. So you must be trying to keep up with demand from the public, correct?
We are. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people end up building, because there's a lack of existing homes on the market. People, if you build a house, you kind of get what you want. You don't have to settle for anything. But I think that's a good reason what you're seeing out there.
Now, when you build, sometimes you have to wait a little bit longer.
Right.
And you have to time that with your sale of your house and things like that. So that can be a little tricky too, can't it?
Yeah, I think a lot of people rent for 6 or 12 months so it's a little bit of a hassle, but in the end, I think they're usually happy that they waited.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit, Derek, about what economic impact a good housing market has on a community.
Yeah, the impact is huge. There was a study done a couple of years ago. The new construction sector employs 890 people. So if you take a look at that many people working, I mean that's comparable to like a Microsoft or U.S. Bank, which are big employers in the Fargo area.
Mm-hmm. And how many people, like in Fargo-Moorhead, are a lot of construction companies, right? I assume a lot of people are employed in this industry.
Right. Yeah.
Also, talk about when you buy a home. It's really an investment. I know some people get hesitant to buy a home or to build a home, but just talk about that. What kind of a smart investment it can be for people.
Sure. Yeah, it's a great investment. Even if you're building or buying an existing home, the values in our market have been steady and increasing. So if you invest, money into a home, that is going to increase in value, which is a good investment.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about those home values right now too, and maybe Kevin can comment on this later too, but they have gone up, correct, in the last 3-4 years? That's probably why people are trying to look right now.
Right, they've gone up. We haven't seen the nationally they've gone down, but we've had a steady market here where they've gone up.
Mm-hmm. Are homes being built in all price ranges and styles currently? Maybe tell me about what you do at Kochman, and also they really other companies try to build for first-time home buyers? Just take me through
Sure.
the different styles and the price ranges in
Sure.
Fargo-Moorhead.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, your entry level, there'd be like twin homes and condos, and there's a lot of those built. That'd be an entry level. There's, homes built for younger couples, and then our company, we usually do a mid to upper end home. So we do a lot of stuff, lake homes, and move up homes is what they're called, or people that are empty nesters. We do a lot of that kind of housing.
When you work with a customer, Derek, maybe take me through how it works. If someone wants to build a house, how do you work with them to make sure it's what they want? It's pretty involved, isn't it?
Sure, yeah, very. We meet with them, we kind of sit down and kind of ask them what their needs are and what their wants are, and try to find, we have a library of plans that we've built over the years, or we do our own in-house design. So if there's something that we don't have, we can design a house for them. And keeping in mind, the budget that they have while we're doing the design, and we go through specifications up front to make sure that they're getting what they want. And if everything looks good with the plans and the specifications and the price, we'll proceed with building the project for them.
Is South Fargo really where it's at right now? That's where a lot of the construction is?
South and West Fargo, kind of that southwest area, it's really been hopping.
Where do you see the market in the next 2-3 years? Do you think it's going to continue to be good based on estimates?
Based on all the indicators that we have, the next few years are going to be in high demand.
Is it hard too, Derek, to find new places to build? I mean, you have to work with the city on that, I suppose. Where are you in the city limits? Or are you getting outside the city limits? I mean, Davies High School is so far south now. That used to be nothing out there.
Right. Yeah. We keep tabs on all the developers, what they're doing, and the lots. You can tell that there's a demand because when they release a new development, the lots are being sold almost immediately to builders. So all the builders are wanting to buy lots because they feel that they're going to be able to sell them.
Right. If someone wants to build a home or buy a home, what's the first thing they should do, Derek?
They should probably get in touch with their financial institution, and find out what they qualify for and what they want to spend, and really get that nailed down before you go in and start looking at things.
So you make sure you're financially ready first before a realtor or you guys are brought in.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Final question, Derek, and then we'll wrap it up. If people want more information about the Home Builders Association or home building in Fargo-Moorhead, where can they go? Who can they contact? Is there a website?
Yeah, the website, www.hbafm.com.
Okay. Thank you, Derek.
Yeah, thank you.
Derek Guthmiller with the Home Builders Association of Fargo-Moorhead. We'll be right back with Kevin Fisher, and he'll talk about the realtor side right after this. We're back on Prairie Pulse. My guest now is Kevin Fisher, the president of the Fargo-Moorhead Area Association of Realtors. Kevin, thanks for being here. We'll talk about some of the things Derek talked about and some real estate issues and realtor issues. First off, tell folks a bit about yourself, your background, where you're from originally, and how you became a realtor.
Okay, well, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm the 2013 president of the Fargo-Moorhead Area Association of Realtors. I take great pride in that. We have 560 realtor members. In addition to that, we have the affiliate members, which would include like lenders, appraisers, home inspectors, etc. An incredible group to work with. They are absolutely wonderful. Really enjoy being their president. Second part is, yes, I'm a real estate agent, or realtor actually. There is a difference there. I've been a realtor for 9 years, working for Park Company. Again, absolutely love working with the public. And just so you know the difference between a realtor and a real estate agent. Real estate agent's kind of more the generic term. A realtor is actually taken a pledge to uphold the code of ethics, which actually this year is 100 years old. So
there's a lot of things in that code. My wife and I just bought a house, and there's a lot of things they really have to be careful that they can't share with other people and things like that. Let's talk about home sales. And how busy you guys are. 2012, big year, right? Tell us about the numbers, and the home market is back for sure.
2012, we were actually up 25.9% in number of units sold. So an incredible market, and that is with a listing percentage that actually decreased. We had less listings in 2012 than we did 2011. The average, if you took single family home and you sold that same home year after year after year, last year for 2012, that increased 6.2% in value over 2011. So now it's 170,700 something is the actual average sales price. If we go back to 2008, it was 153,000.
Yeah.
So it's increased tremendously since then. In fact, in 2013, our year is even booming even more than 2012. Right now, we're double-digit increases in number of units sold over 2012, and the value has gone up another 1,500 roughly in average sales price for home.
And what's driving this? Obviously, interest rates are great. We locked in on a good one. I won't say what it is, but it's a good one.
Yeah,
and banks are willing to lend again, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We are so blessed where we live. I mean, we have an incredible economy here. We have jobs available. There's so much going for us here, and we are so blessed to be where we're at. And like you said, the interest rate's extremely low. I mean, 3.5 right now for a 30-year loan is incredible. So we've got people that are renters that are now looking to become home buyers because of the low interest rates. We've got people inside the state moving to our area. There's people from the western part of North Dakota that are looking to come this way just to get out of what's going on there. We've got people from other areas coming here because of our economy booming so well. And then even people from other countries. I've helped people from Canada that have moved down here to find jobs. So we are so blessed with where we live, and fortunate for us, we never really did experience a recession like all those other areas did.
Right. Are there tax exemptions, Kevin, that they can take advantage from Fargo, Moorhead, or West Fargo, or how does that work?
Again, along Derek's line with the new construction, you've got the abatements for the new construction, which is wonderful for 2 years to help you get into a new house. Obviously, mortgage interest deduction is still huge. There was some talk about that possibly being eliminated or at least changed. One of the things that we as real estate agents do are constantly policing that and supporting the National Association of Realtors to fight things like that would affect the benefits of home ownership. Anyway.
Yeah. How busy are realtors right now? Because when I could not believe how hard our realtor worked for us. Emails at 10 o'clock at night, things like this. I mean, you guys work hard. Just tell me about how things are busy right now. It's
chaos. I mean, it is incredibly busy right now. You've got sellers that are listing their homes that are selling very quickly. They're trying to find something then to buy. The first thing that a buyer needs to do, like you talked about already with Derek, is to go get pre-qualified. You've got to be ready to purchase, because when it comes out and that dream house is there for you, you got to react quickly or it'll be gone. I mean, I've had listings that have come out that have sold now in a day or two. I mean, it's that fast.
I know.
So you got to be prepared to react. So for us, part of the day is, we get up, we're trying to look for things for these people right away, trying to network with other agents to find them something before it even comes out on the market so that we can get a shot at it. It's just, it's extremely busy. It's, like you said, morning, day, night. Thank God our spouses are saints, because I mean, it's tough. I mean, you plan on something, all of a sudden you get that phone call and it's that perfect house for them, and you got to go show it because tomorrow it might not be there.
Right.
And so, like I said, thank God our spouses are saints, because it's a tough life.
And it's not just working with your person. You need to call that person. Can I see your house? Can I show your house? I mean, you got to work with that side too, right? Tell me about that.
So obviously, if a buyer contacts us and they want to see a particular house, the first thing we do is look at the showing instructions. If the showing instructions say to contact a seller, we contact that seller directly, try to work out a time with them that's appropriate for them to get our buyers over there. Obviously, go show the home, and then hopefully, if all goes well, we'll be writing an offer on that. It's very important that we work with the other agents and sellers that are not only ours. And that's one thing that we're blessed with in this market, is that everybody works really well together here, and we really try to look out for the interest of our sellers and buyers.
When you first work with someone who wants a house, I assume you explain, the whole, you got to get pre-approved with the loan, but also things are going to get stressful, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
And tell me about that.
That's one of the biggest things with real estate agents, is we try to make the process as simple as possible, because there's always hurdles thrown in front of you. A lot of times the buyers or sellers are not even aware of it, because we're taking care of it behind the scenes to eliminate it. But yeah, there's constant stress going through. What we don't want to do is have where the buyer and seller are getting into such a frustrating match that lawsuits prevail or whatever. Our goal is to make sure everybody's happy, and that when it's all said and done, it's a win-win situation for both buyers and sellers.
And I found too that usually there's offers made, and I want them to do this for me, but usually it can be worked out without even them meeting face to face, can't it?
Oh, absolutely. In a lot of ways, we don't really want the buyers and
No.
sellers to meet, because then you can get into personality conflicts. If I come in and I say, I don't like your decorating style, you could be offended by that, and then it could kill the deal. So what we try to do is negotiate that between the agents, and then they go back to their respective people and try to work everything out so that everybody's happy.
Derek mentioned one of the problems you're having right now, even though home sales are up, is not enough product to show.
That's correct.
So new home construction is going crazy, but existing homes, tell me about that, Kevin. Sometimes it's hard to find something, isn't it?
Well, again, our last 2 years, we're up in units sold, but yet our listings are down each of the following, for 2012 and so far for 2013. So it is difficult. That's why we have to be, as soon as something is listed, we have to be out there seeing it right away, because if not, somebody else is going to show it, and it could be gone before your buyers get a chance to even look at it. So it's one of those things that we're constantly checking each day, throughout the day. Has anything new come out? What's going on? Contacting our buyers and saying, okay, we need to go out and see this right away. From the selling standpoint, if they list a home and they're looking for it, it's kind of like cooking dinner. You got to have everything come together at the same time. And if they sell their house too soon and don't find anything, that's a problem. If they find something and can't sell theirs, so you got to make everything work out at the same time.
Where do you see the market in the next 2 to 3 years, Fargo, Moorhead, West Fargo?
All the indicators are saying we're growing. From now until, I think it was 2025, this area is just going to keep booming. One of the important things, obviously, for us is, I'm going to go with the diversion and get that done, because if you look at West Fargo, look at the benefits to West Fargo and everything that's happened. And for us, it's important to keep growing, because if you don't grow, you die. And we've got to have that space to grow.
And I'm sure people ask you, what's the floodplain like here, if they're looking further south Fargo or toward the river, right? Those are big questions.
It's a huge concern, especially since the situation with the government right now. What happens if they can't continue to fund FEMA? Okay, who's going to pay for that then? You and I are going to pay for that in higher premiums. Houses that weren't in the floodplain before will be in the floodplain. We're going to have to make up that difference, and it scares the heck out of me. So if we get that diversion in place, that eliminates all those threats.
Right. About 20 seconds left, Kevin. If people want more information from your organization, where can they go? Who can they contact? Website?
Well, the best thing is, the website is www.fmrealtor.com. So you can go there. We've got information there. That'd be the best place to go to.
Okay. Kevin, thanks a lot for being on Prairie Pulse. Stay tuned for more.
This multi-talented group of musicians actually met while working at a bakery, and their unique style of old-time harmonizing is a welcome treat in today's music world. Their powerful, earthy sound is a mix of blues and folk, so enjoy Amanda Standalone and the Pastry Shop Girls.
Springtime brings us so many things, where the flowers blooming and the sun is shining, but the thing that brings the biggest smile is the thing we've been waiting for a little while. And Genevieve, I'd like to welcome you to the world. Genevieve, I'd like to welcome you to the world. Genevieve, I'd like to welcome you to the world. To the world, someday I'll introduce the most beautiful little girl. Well, springtime brought us so many things. Well, the snow is falling and the river's flooding, but all the while I got to walk around with just the biggest smile, because Genevieve, I got to welcome you to the world. Genevieve, I got to welcome you to the world. Well, Genevieve, I got to welcome you to the world. And to the world, someday I'll introduce the most beautiful little girl. To the world someday I'll introduce the most beautiful little girl. Seems like I've known you for forever. It's more like forever and a day. Sometimes I feel we'll always be together, but then sometimes, well, it don't look that way. 'Cause our love is like the waves of the ocean. You come a crashing and slowly roll away. Our love is like the waves of the ocean. You're here now, but you're never here to stay. Never here to stay, never here to stay, oh. Never here to stay, never here to stay, oh. How it happened, somehow I can't remember it. Just happened, it's what they say. I think you're like a cup of coffee in November. You're something warm on a gray and cloudy day. Our love is like the waves of the ocean. You come a crashing and slowly roll away. Our love is like the waves of the ocean. You're here now, but you're never here to stay. You're never here to stay. You're never here to stay. Oh, never here to stay. You're never here to stay. You're never here to stay. You're never here to stay. Oh, never here to stay. You're never here to stay. 'Cause our love is like the waves of the ocean. You come a crashing, slowly roll away. Our love is like the waves of the ocean. You're here now, but you're never here to stay. With three old crows sitting on a wire. And if I had half the heart of him, I'd set this world on fire. Gotta miss you. But if I had one thing to say, I'd say this to you. A drink till last time and sing till every song you sung. 'Cause some old crows die young. We dream of a better world for our daughters and our sons. 'Cause some old crows die young. With three old crows, they're sitting on a wire. One of them flew away and he set our hearts on fire. Gotta miss you. But if I had one thing to say, say this to you. A drink till last time and we'll sing till every song you sung. 'Cause some old crows die young. We dream of a better world for our daughters and your son. 'Cause
Well, that's all we have on Prairie Pulse for this week, and as always, thanks for watching.
Funded in part by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund, with money from the vote of the people of Minnesota on November 4th, 2008, and by the members of Prairie Public.